in the frames already built, designed just for these. Just put them into, just give a little slide, whatever you need to do. Your gloves, I recommend gloves all the time. I don't have mine on right now, but I wear gloves on everything. When I get out of my truck, I put my gloves on. I don't take them back off until I get back to my truck. A lot of you guys got 2-inch receivers. This is a pulling pin out of a Volvo semi. These are great for like whatever. Slide in the receiver. If you just need to touch somebody a little bit, these are great. I don't really like using like a regular receiver like this, so much like this, because I have seen the welds on these snap, break, bend, whatever. Don't really care for them. You can use them. I've seen with Clevis set up. I prefer this because this is a solid piece. There is no welds on it. I have broke one of these before. Not on purpose, but you know, it did break. Me and the gentleman right here was just talking. Hitch pin, you know, you can buy them at a store. They're only rated for 1,200 pounds. You know, that's not a whole lot of pulling. You know, they're made for just dragging a trail down the road. It's got, you know, 500-600 pound tug weight on it. I suggest maybe getting a grade 8 bolt. Run the bolt through it, drill a hole on the other side, and put a collar pin in it. Something that's quick and easy. Grade 8, you know, they're strong. Who wants to begin first? I'm ready to get dirty.
I know, I was just thinking like, have you walk all the way out?
Have you used yours to recover this?
Yeah, but I've used mine a few times. Like,
So you're the one who put it out? You fucked with
yeah, I mean, I pulled some people off.
Oh, I couldn't figure out a better time for it to be able to happen, especially right before we're getting ready to go to a place that we do know.
Look that boy down. Oh, okay. You good? I got a tree saver. Oh, you already got one right around there. Always back off at 44. Always. Because it would actually get pressure and lock itself in. So when you tighten up like that, it's locked. So you back off at 44. It'll always be loose, but it'll never come out.
You guys hear that?
What?
When you tighten up your clevis pins, like when you're tightening it up to lock it down, back it off a quarter turn.
Oh, okay.
It'll never lock up on you. Because if you tighten it up, you put pressure on, now it's really going to be locked.
Yeah.
If not, it won't back out, and you'll always be able to unscrew it. So on this particular GM truck, if you guys want to come up here and look, there. So if you stick it in a regular hole, like right beside it, it will actually rip out because it's not reinforced. Over like this, the hardest part is trying to find center, because you always got your nose in for your weight for your motor. You have no weight back here in the back. So it might take a couple times before we find center to actually get him to come on over. But blocking up off the tree, he's taking half the weight off of his truck versus a single line. Plus he's got twice as much pulling power out of his winch now, because he did double up. Second of all, yeah, you could have straight lined it, or you could have went back to the truck, but then you're putting twice as much pressure on your vehicle. Object of it is to get that winch to do all the work and not the truck. Yes, I put a couple blocks of wood in front of the tires. I don't suggest pulling with, if it's an automatic in park, put it in neutral. If it's a stick, leave it in neutral, set your emergency brake. If you have to hold your foot on the brake, so be it. If it's an automatic and it's still pulling you, if it's an automatic still pulling you, put it in reverse and give it a little gas and put some thrust to the back of it to give it some tension to keep you back, to keep some pressure on it if it keeps pulling you. But I put the blocks of wood there as a safety. on all of our trucks that we use, we all have stiff legs, and I bury the stiff legs in the ground about 4 foot. So line it up, see what happens. Trial by error.
Now, when you have a vehicle that's completely over this, and you're pulling it because this is your access to it, do you ever worry about having any kind of restraint for when it actually tips over, to slow that down, or you just let it fucking drop?
You can put a catch truck on if you really want to. But most generally, time the driver got out of it, hopefully he set the emergency brake and put it back in mark, and when it falls, it stops. So you can put another truck on it, like you get somebody over here, maybe put something on the hinge, that way it don't go rolling down the mount like that. It depends how much weight is there on how heavy it's going to come over. I mean,
Keep on going until it rolls.
very little effort at all, very little effort. And not to say your truck don't weigh enough that you could have did it, you know, backed off of it, but why put the strain on your truck or your bumper bolts trying to pull something over when you've got a perfectly good tree right there? It's called a Holmes tree. And you could have actually did that even more. You could have took your line off of here, went to there, blocked off there, went back to it again, and really had very little effort on that whole situation. Another thing is when you wrap your strap around the frame or whatever you guys are going to use to upset it, once it comes over, make sure you can get it back out. A lot of people, they screw up and they'll grab a hold of the suspension, the control arm. Okay, that suspension's out like this now, so when it comes back over, now it's smashed. Now you can't get your strap out so you can go to the other side. So you got, my rule of thumb is always think 10 steps ahead. Even though you're at step 1, you need to think, okay, once that truck comes over, now what am I going to do? You know, you got to think ahead, think on your feet. This ain't a race, but you got to think smart. Only other thing we didn't do is put a blanket over the line.
Okay.
I mean, I've only had 2 cables break in my whole lifetime, and one of them I'll never forget. But you guys don't use wire rope, so it's hard for it to hear the singing, as us record drivers call it.
Okay.
If the rope starts singing, walk away because it's getting ready to let go, and it'll sing a tune to you. So that's the only thing. But with the synthetic rope, believe it or not, it usually falls to the ground anyways because there's no pressure to it. There's no weight. There's no strength. I mean, that said it's wrong, but it's really true. Once it snaps, it falls to the ground. It don't go through the windshield or through a back glass or whatever. So let's unhook.
Do you want to? Yeah, I was gonna add. Do you want to unhook it and then do like you said and do a double?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's
That way we
unhook
can see
it,
that
and
rigged up.
he can flip it back over and maybe make it.
Does it matter which way the D-ring is facing?
No, it does not. It all works the same.
Oh, is it like a new?
Fine, I can't reply. Two lines on the casualty, one on the tree, one on the truck, which almost takes over half the weight off of the truck. So all the work should be done off that tree to these 2 lines here. There should be no pressure on the truck. Very, very little pressure on the truck of him pulling. And all the pressure will be on that tree right there. It wouldn't be the first tree I pulled out of the ground.
Now in this situation, do you want to cover all 3?
No, just the one that's going to the one, because all those are just going to fall to the ground eventually.
Right.
So if you was listening before, when he did this single line to the tree back, there was a lot of pressure. Now if you listen to the winch, there's very little noise coming out of it because it's not straining as much because you put all the pressure on the tree. Very little effort whatsoever.
That's smooth like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to get some snatch block.
Do these things not go with the free spool option where you use
It does. You can just flip it over to free spool.
I thought that
Pull
was
it out.
I would hope not. A little bit bigger.
Yeah. I have a wire. I have a wireless.
Yeah, we run these. You're watching how your vehicle reacts, and then we'll double it up, and you'll see the difference.
What's going on, Waldo? You all right, buddy?
Kind of.
Can't help but notice that you speak to me, even though I spoke to you. Oh shit! I really didn't pay attention. Happened quick.
Tension factor.
I mean, it's the wheel's the strongest part of the car, and you're not going to cut your strap or anything like that. Versus like if you wrap around the frames.
Yeah.
It depends what kind of wheels are on each particular truck. I mean, everybody runs different wheels, so you got to look at them. You know, rub your hand in here. Hey, is there a sharp edge? No, there's not. I mean, if there is, you can take your glove off and stick your glove in there. I mean, to protect it. The wheel's the strongest part of the car.
Yep. Probably ground more than us though.
Probably. All right, go ahead, let it out.
Ground's the redheaded
I need to know
stepchild.
it's shackle.
Grab me one of those small shackles. Got one right here next to my crib.
Any questions so far? So this is probably going to be the hardest pull for her because it is actually in the creek now. Everything else is kind of a little easier. So we're going to try this scenario and see what happens. I know what's going to happen, but we're going to try this scenario, and worst comes to worst, we'll double the line up and put 2 lines on it and make all the pressure on that tree. Watch it, listen to your winch, watch your vehicle. You know, we do have the wheels chalked, you do have the neutral, you got the emergency brake set. We are pulling off the wheel of the vehicle, and this is probably going to be the hardest pull for her because it is a single line, even though we doubled it up off the tree. Good. Yep, because you got a lot of strain on it. So, if you want to try to, man. All right, let off of it.
They had someplace to be this afternoon.
No, close. Give me that.
Yeah.
Correct.
Pull it on, pulling this sideways and just going over it.
That's what they're meant.
Screw me.
Now, side load might be a
Who was that?
Four curve. Yep, just like that.
Or around a 30.
That's all not standing the triangle of death.
Nope. Keep going. Keep going. start pulling, don't stop. Because you lose your momentum. So everybody, that's the first thing they do. Oh, I want to see what it's going to do. And then they stop, they lose the momentum. You're not going to lose your momentum because we're doubled up here. But when you start pulling something, as long as somebody's watching, you're running controls, you're watching your truck, you're watching your winch, pull that thing right on out.
Turn the key. There you go. You're coming right out. You're about to fall. There you go.
How'd you like that?
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
Right, it's like you do this every day. I usually got somebody in the car steering for me.
You could have said something.
So what'd you learn?
She didn't like the beginning.
What happened when you doubled up?
Not less stress.
It pulls it easier instead of like trying to drag it across it.
So she was more straighter back here, but didn't have, believe it or not, she didn't have the height off that tree to help bring it up out of the creek. So you're looking for what I would call your boom or your fulcrum to get that height to bring it up out of that.
You're lifting and pulling.
You're lifting and pulling. So that's why I moved that saw strap up a little higher while we're playing with it. So we got our lift as she's pulling at the same time. Plus she doubled up, so she took a lot of the strain off of her winch and her truck because yes, it was pulling back here. It was trying to pull over the block of wood. You know, what's that FJ Cruiser weigh?
It was an FJ, I can tell you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
4Runner.
4Runner. What's that 4Runner weigh? 5,500 pounds?
Probably, yeah, maybe probably around 7 with everything I got.
Okay, so this S10,
5,800 pounds.
all right. Plus it's in a creek, so you're trying to drag that dead weight. So you might as well figure 10,000 pounds that you're trying to move, even though you don't think about it. That's all dead weight because it's not helping you. You're trying to drag that up that embankment, all that pressure. There's not enough weight there to do that. So we had to reevaluate, recalculate, moved it to the front, went to a higher elevation, doubled up, and then come right up out. It's a little bit of math, a little bit of science, but at the end of the day, you guys all go home safely. Yeah, we had that tree, we got some lift out of it, but we could have went to no side on that, and it would probably come right up out of it.
What happens if you're like oriented like this, but there's no trees on this side? They're all on that side. You'd be pulling from the other side up and out.
You got position, and if there's trees on that side, get some height on and pull it across the mud that way, or get it to spin. Get the truck to spin and then grab a hold of it, whatever's still, and bring it back to you. If you've got a tree to mess with. Let's do some lift.
Hey Ryan, what if we put the thing on the other side of the creek, put these wheels in the creek to get it up out?
We can do that. Put it in there. Let's go to the low side off the truck. We'll go to the tree and we'll see what it does. We can always double up.
Come out a little back.
So we're kind of doing a two-part line in a way. We went to the low side to get it to try to get them up out of the creek because the high side's already out. So object is try to get the wheels to turn to help come or roll. If it still ran, give it some gas as she's pulling, and it don't take much, but once she's got you going, you'll probably come up out of the hole yourself if you give it some momentum as she's pulling on you. Now, if you're sitting in a big mud hole, bobbing the frame and all tired, sitting there just spinning like ducks, you're useless. You're not going to help. But if you can move a little bit, then yes, you will help her as she's pulling you, even though she's a 7,000 pound truck and you guys are, 45, 55, 100 pound trucks. That momentum of you digging, grabbing will actually help break the suction and help ease everything up. See what it does. Okay. So what Jeremy didn't do is he didn't lock the steering wheel back in as the wheels were turned to the right. So the wheels turned to the left, which is now making you pull twice as hard. So go ahead and let off of it.
Shit, what do you think?
Oh, it was incredible last time it rained.
Woo!
4-cylinder V6. And it was 4-wheel drive.
Oh, nice.
Like, can't get around to the other side?
Can't get around the other side.
Lower point?
Try to get under the front of it and maybe pull it out the front way. Or I'll flip it on the top.
What do you see around you? What do you see around you?
Trees.
Okay.
So try to lift and drag.
Hook it onto one of the four trees.
So I'd change the position of your truck a little bit. Go over here. I'd go to that big tree there, snatch off of it, and grab a hold of that and pull it that way. Once it comes over, then you're already lined up for the front end where you can snatch off that tree and bring it up, is what I would do.
At the least resistance.
Yeah, at the least resistance. Yeah, you're more straight. This is the off-road trail. You've rolled up on some drunk ass in a Jeep. And he needs help. So you execute the plan and I'll walk you through it. Do you want to leave your truck there, or do you want to try to move it a little bit?
Well, if I'm going to hook up to that tree, then I can't be.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Your truck will be sitting right here. Because you need a straight line off that tree to go to that to roll. And then your next execution is, okay, it's rolled over. Now I need to bring it up. So your strap's already hooked here, your truck's positioned here. So you're kind of already set up to get it up out of the water. You just need to move your truck just a little bit, 3 foot, and reposition it right here, or back up a little bit farther, or wherever you want to be at, whatever you feel comfortable with. But that tree right there is going to be your focal point.
So I would hook that one and pull it that way. Once it's kind of more upright, then I can still be in this position. Go sideways from that one.
Yeah, because you'll be on a straight pull off that low point right here. You'll have your lift and your pull at the same time. If it was me, I'd just wrap a chain around the windshield pillar and just drag it out. That's just me. Screw. All the way tight and back off quarter turn. All right, there's that.
Shit happens, man.
Are you the airplane flyer?
No shit.
Let's see what.
Those remixes though.
So the scenario like this, you can go up here, trail hitch, and winch that truck back. If you really wanted to, get back here, up here on the bank a little bit. So it's not so much resistance. And then you can grab the front and slide down if you really wanted to. We'll show you all the examples. So now you've come through the trail, you've seen this drunk guy stuck in a creek.
It's always the Jeep guy.
Drunk off his ass. You don't know who's on phonics, so now you can pull him out, but you've got to figure out how you're going to do it. I want to. You're right there.
Oh, there's a brief. So this is actually.
We're just basically giving you all different scenarios. So if you're using the winch out of the axle truck off the trailer,
That's just
so
the
we're going to
control.
give you possibilities. So come through the trail now, you can't turn around. There's no place to turn around to get your winch to the front. So now you've got a winch to the rear. So now let's put the scenario to play. Yep. So we're gonna go up under that, and then we're gonna go to the low side of this. So he's come through the trail. He can't turn around. His winch is in the back. Found this guy stuck. Playing out a different scenario. So you got two possibilities. You got that big tree back there. You could have winched this truck back a little bit, got it up out of the creek or whatever, then grabbed a hold of it so a bit more of a straight shot this way. But we're going to do it this way. We're going to do 3 points.
Instead of freaking doing things twice, do it once and done.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it right on out, and then he can pull forward and bring him on around the rest of the way. Plus he's got the buddy system going on for the juice power, just to show you guys the difference of this setup. You're on a trail, you can't always turn around. The next turnaround is probably 6 or 7 miles, or maybe never to get turned around. You can use a shirt, a jacket, a towel. You don't always have to use one of those. You just need something to give it a little weight, just in case it breaks, it goes straight to the ground. I had my wife on top of it.
That'll work because it's going to come back this way anyway.
So right now, essentially, we have a hitch-mounted winch,
All right, try it, boss.
and that is going to a snatch block. It is attached to a strap around that tree. That snatch block then leads to the other tree over there, which has a snatch block with a strap around the tree. And then from there, that leads to the front bumper of the S10. So with the S10, it is the steering wheel is locked into place there. So as they pull this, it's going to walk that S10 up that creek bed, and that steering wheel is going to stay in place as they do that. So as you're doing this, you're listening for, obviously anything to break or tension on your winch, especially if you have a steel cable winch. You're trying to listen for that thing to scream, because when it gets to that point, it's at its breaking point. So But right now, we've demonstrated using 2 of these winch blocks, or these snatch blocks rather, to pull that up out of the creek bed. So in this scenario, we weren't able to access that side, so we had to recover it in a different kind of situation, but still doable.
Whatever you want to do. Hey Ryan, how fucked up is this Jeep driver?
Right? He didn't learn his lesson and he had more booze.
Okay, so the top tire, right? You pull it this way, but I need to snap off the. I'm trying to think.
Let's go 3 points off your truck.
So. 1.
But it's only got 2 shots.
Oh, wait, sorry.
You use your truck. Do
Yeah.
all 3 points off your truck. You got 2 closes on the front and your winch line. Let's go all 3 points off your truck.
Oh,
Don't
really?
have any trees. There's no trees around here today. They all blew away.
They rolled in the desert.
All right.
So you're 1 truck, 1 lady. This drunk Jeep guy is still in his truck. Puking right now because he's upside down.
Too many White Claws.
White Claws and Bud Light.
I might as well feed the fire. I mean, shit. That's funny because it's not mine, so I don't really give a
We can
shit.
go to the tires or whatever you want to do, or we can go to the frame. Put saw shackles in the tires and go high and do all your truck is the dead weight.
What do you need, Ryan?
Got no gas in it. It's only 30.
You're a right one, aren't you?
I didn't know they took the gas tank off of it.
You don't want the gas tank on it.
Hey, that's a bridge here now.
I think that's fine for now. Yeah.
He's like, where are we going? Where are we going?
Forget the hook up
Put
match.
Watch out, water. It's been
Stop it. It's cold.
a little M word.
moist.
Moist. Lisa, what was that face for? That's a bad word.
Oh, Lisa don't like that word either.
I just think it's gross.
She's lying to you. She
But
cares
you
a
said
lot.
earlier her hair was moist.
She did. I know.
No, your words were it's still damp, but moist sounds better.
And Lisa's gonna vomit.
What about the word joist? Is that, I mean, is that equally bad? Hoist, yeah.
This through.
Cloister.
Yeah,
a type of
that's all I
verb.
got. That's all I got.
Hey, Ryan. There's only one. Rear cap and rear plate.
Only half of that bracket.
Pull the leaf apart.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Keep going.
Really?
That's what you do this every day, right?
All right, stop. Take it all in.
Yeah, like, keep going? Or?
Yeah, you keep going. It ain't gonna go nowhere. You're holding it right now. It finally bit.
Why? Okay, but it's gonna start dragging its ear though, right?
No. So it finally bit in right here because there's no ass in weight back here. So that's why it kept sliding. It didn't want to bite. All the weight was on the front. That's what I'm going to show you on that here in a little bit. So all the weight was there. So the only, you can't really reverse everything because you really want your straight line with the winch to wind in and out like this. So that's why you put back like that.
Yeah.
So all the weight's up there. It really needs to be reversed, but all perfect scenarios that can't happen. So it just takes time for it to bite. You could put a piece of block of wood down here, cinder block or a rock or something, and hopefully it would fit in to catch. So it would do what you want to do. You went to the high side, which was good. That's what you want. You know, a lot of people would have went right to the frame and it would just kept sliding and sliding. You went high and got it to start doing what you want to do. Because you guys don't have the ability to raise your arms up in the air like I do. To do what you want to do. So you've got to improvise on the trail. Go ahead, bring it on over. Jeremy, you can't sit there no more. Sit still to pull it.
Get that front wheel up and over, yeah.
So what's going to happen, keep going, I'll stop. What's going to happen, since all the weight's on the front of that, it's going to stay right here until it comes around here so far, and then eventually it's going to keep going. Don't stop.
Eventually it'll start pulling on the front.
Everybody the way it is?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
You ain't gonna hurt the truck.
Are you hurting the tires? It's just going to come up until it's even. Pull. As you do all the pulling off of this, you're steering with that at the same time. What else am I doing?
I have no idea. You wanted to use that.
Oh, damn, I didn't actually notice it.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you could actually go and pull from the roof.
Stays together. You run your wire rope or synthetic rope through the snap, through the slot, go down to 2 points on that side. When you start bringing it over, put tension on it, it actually puts tension on this right here and will actually help force the truck to do what you want it to do. If you was just to hook it up without this, you basically pulling straight. All you would do is just pull the truck to you until it hit the creek or whatever, and then try to start coming over. So what we're going to try to do with this is to show you how fast we can get this to start upright to get it to come over.
And that's a flip stick.
Here, doing a single line over this, and see what happens.
Just one point on this side?
Is what I would do. We'll see what gives. So naturally, we want to try to be in line with the winch here. So,
but we have all of these things to consider.
well, yeah, you don't want to smash his emergency brake, even though he ain't driving out here. These are all his fuel lines and wiring harnesses. So on a perfect day, you don't want to smash any of those on a perfect day. So you would just try to go in here, find a subtle spot. Remember, you never take your gloves off.
I know, I don't even have my gloves on.
You're sliding.
Rookie hour. Probably by my bag.
So just remember, so we're going to choke that Once you got,
Say, so do you
hang on, man. So we're going to choke at. So choking it, it's 4,200 pounds. If we did a basket, we do 10.6.
So should we do a basket?
It's up to you.
I feel like this should not be a thing unless we have to.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is your world. I'm just walking through it.
I know, but tell me if that's right or wrong. I felt like this was stronger and better to do rather than sensitive.
It is more. It is more stronger. You are right.
Okay, and it's safer.
You know. Yeah. I mean, as long as it don't cut.
Yeah.
I mean, we got fuel. I don't really care. But on a perfect day, yes, you would want to try to watch these, because what's going to happen is when you put tension on, it will crush this stuff. But again, too, you got to think too, 10 steps ahead. When I start coming over, is that going to choke it enough where if I'm behind it, will it bend them out? When it starts to come over, you've got to think. Yeah. So look at how I got it now. If you look down in there, it ain't smashing them. See how that? See it? You've got to
Pivot it to like.
Yeah, you got to do a little thinking. So if you was behind that, what would happen?
Maybe just cinch that up and pull that here.
Push it. Yeah, it would push them out.
you.
I didn't see it in your bag, so
They're laying up there.
I had an extra pair.
Last
Okay,
night.
so then from here I need.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
I need my.
So you actually ran this through the frame.
Yeah, I did. So if I was on a recovery by myself, which I usually am, I would have put a chain there, and most generally just flip the son of a bitch and be done.
Yeah.
You guys don't have that capability, so I'm showing you different ways.
Should I not use these?
You can. Or you could screw your shackle through there and run it through here.
Oh shit. See, that's
And
why.
eliminate the tools.
That's why I was like, I don't know how all the different ways. to
You're
use
fine.
this thing.
No. This first. You get ahead of the game, girl. All right. Now put that in there. That's why they put the hole in the hook. All the way tight and then back off a quarter turn. Good. If you're happy with that, I'm happy with it.
Nah, did I leave that over there? I did.
Leave what?
My
Controller.
Oh, you're gonna be up there.
See it right there on the hood.
on the truck. I'm gonna get behind you.
They're gonna be
Because this is trial by error. We gotta do that 4x. Not sticking. Right. Right. See what it does. Trial by error. Why is everybody walking away?
I'm gonna get hit by that damn 4x4.
Big stick.
We good? Everybody good?
Yep. Normally there'd be a door there, maybe. to
Right.
Not let that happen.
Let it off. Just a little bit. Try that. What? Let off just a little bit. Try that.
Huh?
Try it. Try it. Let off. Try that. Nope, too much. Try that. Try that.
Tighten it up.
Just a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. Try it. guys all see the object here. If there was a door, yes, this would all stay reinforced, you know, structure like this. But you see what this does. I mean, it immediately put the roof on the ground, bit in the ground, and started to force it over.
Ready?
Yep. Stop. Just like I had it planned.
Bingo.
Nice.
So now we're attempting this recovery with kinetic rope, so not using a winch or anything.
That's the problem with new vehicles, that traction control kicks in and starts to you don't get your momentum, so you can turn it off and have all the momentum in the world. Try it, see what it does. Easy, there you go. All right, it's all yours. It's all yours. Back it up, don't stop. You're going to feel the tug, and that throat's going to stretch like a rubber band, and it's going to come. Once you start back up, don't stop. Just keep going. So go ahead. Go ahead. Try it again. One more time. Or did it toe hook bend? That makes it toe hook. Try it one more time. Yeah! Woo! Those if they break, then I'll get my new ones out. So we all do our things. When you guys are out there on those trails, you're out there by yourselves. You're not close to home. You're not close to medical attention. You just got to be safe. A little common sense, a little math, a little geometry. you guys should be able to do anything you want. I mean, if you want to call me while you're in the trail, I'll be sitting at home drinking lemonade, watching TV. I'll walk you through it. But I'm not coming with you guys. So,
You might have fun, you never know.
nah, I'm too old for that shit.
Nah.
So, but I hope you guys and girls, when you guys leave here today, if you guys come back tomorrow, I hope you guys take something from here today, somehow, some way, even if it's just the stick or how to do a tug of war or whatever. You've all learned something. So, any questions? Anything?
So thank you for coming out and showing us how to do everything.
So I know you all have chipped in, and I don't want your money. I didn't do this for payment. I did this because Jeremy asked me to, and me and Jeremy's friends, his dad and my dad were best friends. So if it's okay with you, I want the club to get a thank you card and donate it to Mark Campbell and his family, who just passed away, who was a very dear, close friend of mine. He worked with Jeremy. Send the proceeds to that family. They need it more than I do. I appreciate everything you guys have offered, but I can't take it. Mark was too close of a friend of mine. We grew up since we was 9 years old together. He was just killed in a horrific car crash down West Carrollton last week, or this past week. The funeral's next week. His wife and 2 kids, the 2 little boys, they need it more. So if you guys will get a card, put the money in it, sign the group's name to it, sign my name to it, and just give it to the family, please.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I appreciate everything you guys have offered. Shit, I enjoy this shit. I mean, where do you go to work and have fun every day? I mean, I sit at my desk biting at the bit for recovery. I mean, it's what I do. So
teaching people, stuff, nobody's had any of the experience and showing us something as simple as a 4x4.
That's it. The other day, my guys were all sitting in their trucks, and their trucks were clean, the trash was taken out. I was like, come on, let's go to the lot and we'll flip a car over. I got my big stick out, and I retrained them on how to use it, and we did. Every time we flipped that car over, it landed some way different. So that next driver had a challenge on top of a challenge on top of a challenge, because that car kept moving. They wasn't allowed to move the truck. They wasn't allowed to reposition it. It had to stay put. So they had to work off of, at least you guys can move around in this trail and get positioned better where they could. I expect high expectation out of my 3 guys, because when they go out, they represent me, which they represent the company that I work for. And when I run into somebody at Walmart or Kroger's or Rule King, hey, your guys did a great job, that makes me feel 100% because I trained them. Just like you guys, you go out and you do something, you go to Kentucky or Tennessee, and those whatever group that was down there you guys went with, you could teach them something. Hey, we learned that from some hillbilly in Ohio. So, but the blocks of wood, your guys's, for your guys' group, block of wood, chalk the tires. You can leave your trucks in park. You're just going to tear the parking pole out of the transmission. Then you're going to spend $3,000 or $4,000 for what? For as simple as leaving a lever in neutral. Have somebody hold the foot on the brake. It's just little common sense, little logic. So in a couple weeks, you guys go have fun and don't fuck nothing up.
doing, bud? What's on there? There's no snake.
It does sometimes.
Yeah. It's just a bumper. There you go.
Would I do this if I had to? Absolutely. I mean, I trust those in a heartbeat. Those are rated for 3,500 pounds. They break at 9,700 is what they break at.
Ooh.
You want the 45 because you want to put pressure on that floor. So we can cut a couple inches off of it to get it down to really bite into that floor. You know what I mean?
And if this was like, if we were actually doing this and this was that messed up, we could probably shift that a little bit to where we're over here.
Yeah, you could go to this body mount. You could get right here with body mounted. But again, you need to find center where it's not going to work. Right. Yeah, so most of your weight's up front anyway, so really you could try to come up here and maybe wrap the transmission cross over here and try to go somewhere right here. You know, I ought to really show you how you try to pull without the stick and see the difference. Because basically it's going to be more strain and it's not going to do what you want to do. I'm trying almost to trying to just drag the whole thing instead of trying to flip it.
Which is probably
your object is to try to, you want to get back all the way down there. On the ground, you're not going to be able to see what you're doing. Yeah. Sticks out of the way or re-rig maybe go, you know, go to here, even though we pulled on a little bit already. And you see how we all on it. Yeah, well, how we both, but I mean, design. So, yeah, I would go again. There's one back here. I mean, whatever. Or you could just undo the strap here and make it longer. So when it comes over, all you gotta do is unhook it and pull it out. So I mean, that you've got options. Or you could drop the strap to the wheel, pull on the wheel. That way it bites in the ground.